Today I'm gonna show you how to master marketing for small business, step by step. In fact, we use the same 6 strategies from this video to drive millions of results like visitors, leads, and sales. So if you wanna figure out how to master marketing for small business, even if you don't have a clue about how it works, then make sure you watch this entire video. Hey, I'm Sean with Life Marketing, a digital marketing agency that helps small businesses grow. When we first started our agency in 2011, we were completely lost. We knew digital marketing was the future of marketing, but we had no experience with it. So we did what everybody does. We researched blogs, we followed influencers, and yeah, we even took some classes. Content is king, all right? Got it. We took everything we learned and we put it into practice for a handful of our clients. Unfortunately, the generic advice and the well thought out concepts from class didn't translate to any results. So we decided to figure out digital marketing for ourselves. Our agency went on to personally test hundreds of marketing ideas just to find out what really works. And then we finally cracked the code. And today I'm so excited to share exactly what we learned to drive hundreds of results for ourselves, our clients, and our employees. But before I jump in, make sure you hit that like button below, because if you don't, YouTube won't show our videos to anyone else. All right, let's go ahead and get into it with priority number 1, develop your digital assets. Now you might be asking yourself, Sean, what exactly is a digital asset? So as we know, an asset is anything that drives positive cash flow. So if you had a rental property, then your asset could be your house. And if you have a small business, then your asset could be your website. There are 3 digital assets we recommend you have before you even think about marketing. Number 1, you need a website. Number 2, you need a drip sequence. And number 3, you need high quality photos or videos. Now with all 3 of these things, there is something that you need to know. In order for them to work effectively, you have to have high quality design. Because let's face it, no one wants to buy an ugly design no matter how great your marketing is. I don't understand why nobody likes me. There's a lot of reasons why you might need these assets, so I'll sum it up into a few points. Number 1, you need a place where people can find you, which is your website. Number 2, you need a place where you can follow up with prospects automatically, which is your drip sequence. And number 3, you need to make a great first impression with high quality photos and videos. Also, the rest of the strategies in this video work best when all these assets are in place. Which brings us to our second channel, use SEO, otherwise known as search engine optimization. What if I told you that people are looking for you right now? They're literally begging for all your products and your services. They have a really big problem and only you and a handful of others can actually solve. I want you to think of SEO like a mall. Some people go to the mall to shop. Companies go to the mall to sell things that people shop for. SEO is like the biggest mall on the internet. Some people go to search engines just to shop, so it's important that your company is there too. So how can you get started with SEO? Let's talk about 3 quick things. Number 1, you need to do some keyword research. Our friends at Google have an amazing tool called the Google Keyword Planner. This can give you hundreds of keyword suggestions along with their monthly search volume. This makes it super easy to figure out which terms and keywords you need to focus on the most. Even if your industry is small, there's likely someone searching for keywords on Google. Here's an example of when I searched for call center analytics, which is obviously a super niche B2B service that, as you can see, people are actually looking for. So definitely don't doubt the power of SEO. Tip number 2, you need to do some on-page optimization. So once you have your keywords in place, then the next step is to make it super easy for search engines to find them. Popular search engines like Google have bots that crawl pages on the internet to figure out what websites are all about. It uses stuff like meta tags, alt tags, H1s, user behavior, basically a bunch of technical stuff. But it can be easily done with a tool like Yoast. Yoast SEO is a plugin for WordPress. With Yoast, you can easily see what you need to do to optimize your page. You can see your problems, what needs improvements, and what looks good. Here are some examples of links that we need to fix in their image alt tags. With Yoast, you can see what we've done right, like the title width and the headline tags. So all you need to do is follow this prompt, and suddenly on-page optimization becomes a lot easier to digest. Hey Sean, you hungry? Yeah, I kinda am. You want some Yoast? Of course. Tip number 3, you need to repeat this process again again and again without seeing any traffic. The harsh truth is SEO takes time, at least 6 to 12 months. The key to great SEO is to keep going on with your theories and your projects without seeing any traffic. When you go from not ranking to ranking number 77, then that's some momentum. That means you're doing something right and the search engines recognize you. But ranking number 77 will likely get you 0 traffic. That's like page 7 of Google. Nobody goes there. So remember, be consistent and keep going on with your theories and your projects without seeing traffic, and just know in time that the traffic will come. All right, let's move on to tip number 3, which is to use pay-per-click on search engines. So if SEO is like the biggest mall on the internet, then PPC is like having prime real estate at the mall. It's like having a retail space that everybody gets to see first, but there's usually an extra cost for this prime real estate. So pay-per-click is very similar to SEO. People are looking for what you have to offer. The main difference is you don't have to wait 12 months before you start getting results and some initial traffic. Here's an example of when I searched for call center analytics. And when I ran that search, I saw these ads. Every time I click on one of these ads, that respective company pays for it. Hence the phrase pay per click. Here's an example of one of our clients making a lot of money with pay-per-click advertising. Now you need to know that the keywords and the cost per click are based on the competition of that keyword. But don't worry, Google has us covered again with their Google Keyword Planner, which gives you an estimate of what you can expect to pay per click. Now here's 3 things you need to know about pay-per-click advertising. Number 1, you still need to do some keyword research. You can rewind back to our previous point to see exactly how you need to do keyword research. Number 2, CTR matters a lot. CTR stands for click-through rate, which is simply the amount of times that people seen your ad versus the amount of times that people actually clicked on it. Now CTR can get pretty deep, so I'll link a video up above if you're interested in diving deep into it. But essentially, you want to create high click-through ads on Google or any search engine so you drive as much traffic as possible. Number 3, you need to make sure you're doing some on-page optimization. Now we talked about this in tip number 2. However, since we're paying for additional traffic now, I have one additional tip. Whenever possible, make sure you capture leads. This means having a landing page with one clear, concise call to action. Here's an example of a landing page that we built for Life Marketing. On this page, there is no menu for our visitors. We made our call to action very simple. All you have the ability to do is to download our cheat sheet or to leave. This helps our conversion rate skyrocket, and we can better track our money spent on pay-per-click advertising. Now, there are a lot of things that go into making an effective landing page, so tell us in the comments below if you'd like to see us create a video breakdown of everything that you need to know. And one more thing, pay-per-click allows you to skip the line, but it also will bring your overall profits down. So before you get started, make sure you consider your overall marketing budget and what you can spend and still be profitable. Okay, now let's move on to tip number 4, which is to use social media management. It's no secret, social media is a massive platform where people go to connect. So if you're thinking that your customers aren't on social media, think again. Platforms like Facebook have more users than 3 United States. That's massive. So trust me when I say your customers are definitely on Facebook, which means there's an opportunity for businesses. However, the difference between social media and SEO is the intent behind them. When people go on social media, they're looking for people. They're looking for their friends, their family, celebrities, etc. They're not looking for your products and services like they might be on search engines. So that means if you want to capture attention, then you have to create valuable content. And sneak peek, that doesn't mean listen 100 ways that your product can help them. Nobody cares. Here are 2 simple tips when it comes to creating content. Number 1, before you begin posting, you should listen very carefully to your audience. By listening, I mean joining their groups, reading their comments, and studying exactly who they're following and why. This allows you to learn a little bit more about what your audience's challenges and their goals are. And once you have this in mind, then you can move on to the most important step, which is to create valuable content. Most people will tell you content is king, quality over quantity. But what they really mean is you need to know brands, colors, headlines, and stuff that people emotionally respond to so that you can sell them. We tried that, it doesn't work. Not in the 2020 social media era, not in the 2021 social media era, and probably not beyond. That time has long passed. So what you have to do is to create value. You want to create stuff that makes your audience life better. Then and only then do you have the opportunity to sell them. Remember, SEO is like a mall. If someone walks into your store, then it's appropriate to talk to them about your products and your services. In fact, It's expected. On the other hand, social media is like a park. You wouldn't want the first thing you do when you walk up to a stranger is to say, hey, did you know my call center analytics can hold up to 25 users? Bro, I'm walking my dog. So create value. Here's some stuff that Life Marketing does for ourselves and our clients. We have a content mix of quotes, infographics, and sharing results. Here's an example of an infographic, and here's an example of some results. As you can see, every step of the way, we are giving people value. And when people connect with it, it allows us to grow. Now, since you made it this far, I have 2 additional tips for social media growth. And the 2 are volume and consistency. Most people won't tell you, or maybe they lack the experience to know, that volume is key for social media organic growth. The game is actually quantity over quality, not quality over quantity. Let's look at one of the biggest fashion brands online, Fashion Nova. As you can see, they posted over 54,000 times on Instagram. Here as I'm recording this video, they just posted another 10 times in the last 24 hours. And their posts aren't crazy special either. Now, obviously, quality matters a lot and you have to give value. For Fashion Nova, that value translates into special offers and looks. So on a scale from 1 to 10, we rank their quality about a 6.5 and their quantity a 10. All right, now let's move on to tip number 5, which is to use social media advertising. Remember, social media is like being at a park. So social media ads are like having a stand at that park. You may get some eyeballs on you, but not everybody is there just for you. They're there to have fun, enjoy a picnic, take a walk, or something similar. So it's even more important to give people a reason to visit you or to get them to click on your ad. And when you do, you can get some pretty massive results. Just take a look at the work we did for Revice. They generated over $50,000 in revenue in a single month. The best part, they only spent $14,000. That's $24 per purchase, which is a profitable sale for them. Now remember, just like with PPC or social media advertising, you have to know your costs. Otherwise, you can dig a really big hole that's difficult to climb out of, otherwise known as unprofitable sales. So how can you start using social media advertising to drive results? Well, unlike social media management, volume isn't necessary. We've seen one ad drive thousands of results, but that one ad has to be a really good ad. Now, it's impossible for me to give you an exact formula on how to create ads because it really depends on your audience. Think about it. Dog lovers respond better to dogs in their ads, and ads targeting women probably respond better to the color pink. However, keep these things in mind. Number 1, create an ad that provides value first. Number 2, people read headlines before they read copy and descriptions. Number 3, you can use emojis to capture emotions. And number 4, use high quality images and videos. Now, a lot of these things are self-explanatory, but I wanna walk you through a quick example for one of our clients. This is a wrestling training course. We started out with providing value first. We recommended that our audience download a free ebook on nutrition for wrestlers in exchange for their email address. We put together a headline based on their goals, used emojis, and made sure that we used a high quality image. Now your ad is gonna determine about 40% of your success. The other 40% is your audience. And since you made it this far, I have a special bonus tip that's on an advanced level. What you need to know about social media audiences is that warm audiences convert nearly 10 times better than cold audiences. A warm audience is simply someone who's heard about you before. They visited your website, they saw you at an event, they visited your booth, or something similar. So if you have the luxury of using warm audiences or custom audiences, then you're going to have a higher success rate. Additionally, with custom audiences, you're able to create a high-performing cold audience called lookalike audiences. Now that's pretty advanced, but subscribe and we're gonna do a step-by-step tutorial on what all this stuff means. Further, social media advertising is an environment where testing is necessary. That means you can waste a little bit of money before you find the right ad that matches up with the right audience. Unfortunately, there's no shortcut to this, and it simply is the cost of social media advertising. All right, let's move on to our last tip, which is to hire a consultant or an agency. A consultant or an agency can help guide you through uncharted territory. A marketing consultant is usually an individual who can help you out with your marketing. An agency is usually a group of consultants. Now, bias aside, an agency can provide you with a little bit more stability than an individual. This is because an individual can get sick or find a better opportunity, leaving your marketing hanging out to dry. But regardless, make sure you're working with someone with some experience. There are a lot of people that's gonna watch this video and decide, hey, I can do that for my clients too, which is great. We wanna make sure we're providing value to everybody, but there's a lot of nuances that comes to digital marketing. And when you hire someone, you wanna work with someone who can guide you while predicting some outcomes. And by the way, that means you never ever want to hire an intern. An intern is basically someone who's going to drain your time by asking you question after question. Hey boss, where's the coffee machine at again? The best interns have some really bright ideas, but they lack the experience to take the lead. So majority of the time, they wind up following your instructions, which defeats the whole purpose behind hiring someone to help guide you. So remember, focus on experience over price, because a lack of experience will wind up costing you in wasted time. So in summary, let's look at the 6 tips that we recommend for digital marketing for small businesses. Number 1, develop digital assets. Number 2, use SEO. Number 3, use pay-per-click on search engines. Number 4, use social media management. Number 5, use pay-per-click on social media, otherwise known as social media advertising. Number 6, hire an experienced agency or consultant. Now, I hope all this information was really helpful for you, especially when it comes to marketing a small business. If you enjoyed it, make sure you tell us in the comments below, like this video, and subscribe for others. That's it for today, guys. I'm Sean, and I'll see you in the next video.